Hey guys, it's Sam, and this is part 2 of my advice series on being a VFX supervisor. And this one is all about when is it safe to ask for advice, to admit that you don't know in a professional setting. I want to tell you a story about the closest thing to a mentor I had, a wonderful guy. He's actually a director of photography, not a VFX supervisor. Imagine the scene. We had a coach, and we had a lot of people on this coach, and outside this coach was a huge green screen that we've had to order in especially and set up outdoors. That's important, outdoors, so we can go and change what's going on outside the coach. Now, when we went and set this up, it was outdoors. I noticed there was a tree nearby, and I thought, maybe that tree is going to cast shadows on the green screen and cause some problems, because we need a green screen, ideally, to be one flat shade of green so it keys really nicely, especially when we've got bits that are defocused, there's hair in the shot, all those kind of things. And unfortunately, even though I said we need to film it in the morning because the position of the sun would mean that it would not cast shadows on the green screen, unfortunately, like many visual effects shots, it gets pushed to the end of the day, to the end of the call sheet. And sure enough, the sun had moved around, it shone through this tree, and then we go and put a load of leaves, the shadow of leaves on this green screen. And it was a very bright day, and the dynamic range of the shot was so great that even with I think it's a Red Epic camera, which is a great camera. Obviously, that's quite an old camera now. But even the dynamic range of that camera just couldn't handle it. It means that the green screen was either white or black in certain areas, and it wasn't this constant shade of green. And there was a lot of massive depth of field shots. We need that green screen to be really good. And the director of photography, who was amongst all of his electricians and grips and all that kind of thing, he saw this and he took a moment. And this DOP, by the way, he's like just an absolute master and commander. He could be on the level with kind of like cowboy guys who are like really fun, all the way up to like executive producers where he needs to speak like an admiral in an army or something like that. So he could be on the level with everyone on the spectrum. So he was incredible. So he did a really incredible thing. And I'll always remember this. And this is why I'm actually telling you this story. He asked all those people to go away. He went on the coach. It was just me and him. He said, Sam, just want us to come on in here. And we went away from all the bustle and the noise of this film crew. And it was like a very peaceful, serene moment. And he said, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And that meant so much. And I gave him such a massive respect that he could admit to me. And he was like mid-60s. He's had a terrifically successful career. One of the smartest people I ever met. Very sharp, very fast mind. And he was admitting to me he didn't know what to do. And so anyway, we came up with this plan about doing depth of field and all that kind of thing. But here's the important thing. Why did he ask to be separated from everyone else? Very important, because if you're around what I would call engineer-minded people, where we have very difficult problems to solve every day, sometimes you just don't know. If you're around the kind of people who would say, oh, the boss here, he said he doesn't know. Oh, he's an idiot. I'm not going to have respect for him. Oh, he doesn't know what he's on about. Who does he think he is? He's an amateur. He's a beginner. That kind of, and then that word goes around, and they start losing respect like a bad apple in the bunch, right? So very wisely, he went away from all of those people who would try and bury him if he admitted publicly a weakness that he didn't know. And he went to me. He was another head of department who appreciates that, look, we just come up against some really difficult, challenging problems that nobody knows the answers for. And it's okay within a protected, special bubble to admit that you don't know. It's like a safe space. If you do anything that's the least bit complicated, sometimes you just don't know. And it's very, very important who's around you when you say that, because I've seen people get buried. I've seen a director admit that he didn't know what to do. And then I saw the whole crew turn on him. It was so horrible. They start swearing about him, calling him names within earshot. Nobody wanted to sit with him at lunch. I felt so bad for the guy. I wanted to vomit, right? I felt so bad. And this was every day on the set, because he didn't anticipate admitting he was wrong in front of the right people. I've often found that when you have a real problem in a professional environment, figuratively, it's like you've fallen. You find out who's going to help you up and who's going to try and kick you when you're down. The way to do it is to admit that you don't know amongst those people that you know for sure that once you've fallen down, when you're at your weakest, they will help you up. And those kind of people will have more respect for you because we know that we have difficult problems to deal with. No one knows everything for sure. And it's actually a huge mark of respect that they've asked you for your help. There's been a lot of content on the internet about owning your mistakes, taking responsibility, all those kind of things. But who you do it in front of is very important because especially at the beginning of your career, if you do this correctly, your career will go up. If you do it at the wrong point, people are going to talk badly about you, people who have got a louder voice than you with the production, and their voices are going to drown out yours, and it may be that you don't get hired again. And I'm very fortunate to say that most of the productions that I've been at, whenever we've had a problem, we've all pitched in together and we've helped each other up. We've literally taken that person from the floor, put them up on our shoulders and paraded them because we have the absolute faith in them that they can fix this problem and we can help them fix that problem. And because of that, we end up solving the problem every time and then we have a wonderful production. And as a closing point, I'd like to say, let's say there's someone who's not in your department and they're struggling with something, which could be someone to try and take some heavy equipment through some doors. Just open a door for them or help them carry it. It might not be your department to do that, but just these little gestures means that everyone can get along so much better. And also you show some leadership on what it's like to be that ideal crew member where everyone just helps each other because you know what, we're all facing the same direction. We've all got the same goal. Let's all help each other and just be awesome to each other.